Now, are you playing with a certain image, or do you always speak pretty much from the heart?
I just say what comes to my mind. I'm definitely not one to be told what to do and when to do it by nobody. I never really have, regardless of an organization or status or anything. That goes back to from being in schools to being in the army to just my everyday life. I'm never one to be told what to do without reason. I'm not the kind of I'm my own guy. I'm a man. I have my own thought, my own feelings, and I do what I want when I want to do it. And if I'm doing something for you, appreciate it. It's a favor. That's the kind of guy I am.
Have you had people come to you and say, "Listen, Paul, you got to change a little bit. There's a certain game you got to play, and you have to play it, or you have no choice"? And what's your response when they say that?
Yeah, I've had it a lot, and I do try, but there's only if you are a genuine person, then there's only so much fake stuff you can do. There's only much of a facade you can put on. If you're yourself, then eventually that true person will come out. So I do try and play the game sometimes, but you can't always act up.
So there's obviously this weird twist has come down now in the story with you and UFC. Zuffa buys Strikeforce. You feel like you're in good spot with Strikeforce, getting some big fights. Has your reaction kind of changed since the initial one? I think that was you on the Underground Forum, right?
Yeah, it has changed. I've just got to get on with things, to be honest with you. I've still got the opportunity in front of me, and I'll just get past this and do what I do, go out there and win, and then we'll see what's up. But my main focus is, I did say to Strikeforce I'd take the fight. I've took the fight, I've signed the fight, and I'm here in the U.S. ready to fight. So, whatever. My opinion still, I like to be the competition. I liked the way Strikeforce was the UFC's competition. I thought it made the whole, landscape a little bit more interesting.
If you weren't fighting for the Zuffa family, is there enough money out there? Can you make 50, 75, and six figures?
I can make money easily.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying by, Nick Diaz is pushed a lot by the companies, but I do a lot of the pushing myself to keep my name out there. I'll always be able to make money now. I think I've done enough, good or bad, and established enough of a name and a fan base to be able to make money in it. Not that I would like to, but even in a small local show, I could sell out 6,000 people in a local show in the UK, and make a bunch of money and bring a bunch of press attention to it, and still be able to pay my bills, which is one of the main things, and fight. So whatever, I'm as obviously the best opportunities and the ones with the most recognition are always going to be the ones that I hold highest and will be my priority. But if things don't work out for whatever reason, then I'm pretty sure I can make money anywhere in the world.
Why do you think you're different than other fighters who, 99% of them seem kind of afraid to speak frankly if they are unhappy or if they have some concerns with Zuffa management? Is it basically, hey, this is who I am and the money deal, or is there another reason that you are not afraid?
Just for that reason, that I think I can make money anyway. Away from a main corporate organization, I can still make money. I've always, since the very beginning, been different in what I did. Not many of the American fans will know it, but I've been going about the way I operate for a long time. Since I even started in MMA, I've had a website. I set up an entertainment group. I've had clothing under various different guises. I've had martial arts clubs that I've headed and promoted. And I've promoted shows myself and headline shows in my own town. I'm an entrepreneur as such, but it's not something that I brag about. But I'll be fine no matter what. I've always been good at making money and getting by, so that's why I ain't scared to say what I've got to say. They're feeding me now, but away from here, because I'm still getting fed, so it doesn't matter.
So to go back to the night that initially irked management, Dana White, was there anything besides the sucker punch in the cage that got him so angry, got management so angry? Because it seemed to be at an extra level versus other guys who've gotten in trouble and made mistakes.
I really don't know. I've said that. I don't know. I just think that he never really got a feel for me. You know, I was brought in against Campman late, and I wasn't supposed to win that fight in my eyes. And the Hazlett fight, although it was a little bit more even, it was supposed to be okay. He could knock out Campman, but he's a striker, really. Let me put against a jiu-jitsu guy who could submit him, and then I knocked him out. It was like, okay. So I think I was always brought in to lose, to be honest with you, those first couple of fights. And I won, and I did it in a fashion that it was a little bit arrogant the way I was doing it, and that was carried away from the cage as well. I don't think he really liked that, to be honest with you. And then after the bout, after the incident against Koscheck, he came up to me and, you know, he said a few things that at the time I really wasn't interested in, but I don't think any fighter would have been interested in, having just had a fight and being very emotional. I think he said some things at the wrong time, in the wrong place, and I responded in the manner that anybody would. So I think that's kind of why he went so hard at the post-fight press conference.
See, but that's the difference, though, is I think my guess is that, I don't know what you said, but my guess is that when you responded to him, that isn't the way most guys would respond to him. They would back down and realize they're in a grave situation there. But I'm not ripping you. That's your personality.
Yeah, that is my personality, and especially in such a heated situation like that. I mean, had the same thing been said to me, and he come to me at the post-fight while I'm sat there with all the media in front of me, and and said, "Look, Paul, that wasn't cool what you did. Do you want to be in the UFC?" Then I think he would have got a more polite and different response.
So is this something you want to patch up eventually, or are you just going to kind of let it play out and see where it goes?
I hope so. I've never spoke to Dana personally, face-to-face or on the phone about the incident itself. It was kind of, it just happened, and then it was me putting out a press release to the fans back home, just saying sorry. I've never really had a chance to, tell him how it went down in my eyes and why certain things happened and why I reacted the way I did. But I have no reason to reach out to him, because he's the employer. If he wants me with a company, then, he reaches out to me and says, "Look, I want you to be with my company. Let's sit down and talk." But if not, then I'm fine with it. I'm open to talking with anybody about anything. But, and then I hear people say, "Well, Dana, why should he reach out to you, Paul? You're a nobody," which is fair enough. If I'm a nobody, then cool, I'm fine. I'll go back home and I'll be a nobody back home and still be happy, smiling, and getting things done. But if if there is still an opportunity there, then I ain't going to reach out for it, because as far as I'm concerned, I've done enough in apologizing to the press and the media for what I've done. So it's cool.
Well, your motivation has to be, first of all, you want to win the fight. You want to get a big win against a guy like Nick Diaz. Yeah. But grabbing the Strikeforce title belt, not that it gives you leverage, but it certainly puts you in an interesting position.
Yeah, it's huge. That's what I mean. It was a big fight anyway, and every fight I had since leaving the UFC has been a big fight. For me, it's been like to all the haters that have been on my back, and to all the people that wanted me to fail. Every time I'm winning, whether by decision or whether by TKO or KO, it's been like, there you go. Every time somebody says something, did you see that Paul Daley fight? Did you see what he did in that fight? Did you hear what he said or something? See how he did this? All this is good for me. It's what I wanted to do. This is why I was saying it. I wanted to be the rival. I wanted to prove something to everybody out there that wanted me to fail after leaving the UFC. So this now is the biggest opportunity and the biggest stage to do that. How better than to be a champion of an organization that was a rival and now is owned by the same company that shunned you, that kicked you away, and now you're their champion again. And now the ball is in your court. Do you want to be their champion? I don't know. What are you going to do? Not that I'm saying that that's the case. Obviously, the first thing is to win the fight, but it does, like you say, it makes it a whole lot more interesting. If I am the champion, the black sheep of the family is just, become the greatest, provider for the family, and now what's up with that?
Like, we're not going to see a Riddick Bowe, take the take the belt and
dump it in the bin. Although I'm sure that will get a lot of attention, and the media will go crazy with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do that. I'll take that belt and I'll wear it with pride, and I'll put it in my cabinet with all the other belts I've won with pride. I'm not going to pull no crazy stunts like that.